Attend the world's best business workshop led by America's #1 business coach for free by subscribing on iTunes and leaving us an objective review. Claim your tickets by emailing us proof that you did it and your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com.
Oh, an incredible beatbox introduction today. It's not often that we get to start a radio show with a beatbox introduction. Big shout out to the Thrive Nation. Welcome back to Business School Without the BS. And yes, my name is Clay Clark. I'm the former U.S. SBA Entrepreneur of the Year here today. Dr. Zellner will be joining us shortly. And today we are breaking down the seven steps to increasing your sales by 700% if you have an existing business. Step 1, you got to block out that time. If you're just tuning in now, step 1, recapping. Got to block out 1 hour per day. You got to block out 1 hour per day. How long? Block out 1 hour per day of meta time to work on your business. If you don't do it, you can't win. You can't do it. And you know why you can't win? Because you won't be able to think strategically. So during the day when there's a problem, you write it down. So as an example from today, just for me personally, these are just examples. One of the brands I'm working with, Tip Top K9, is now the highest reviewed dog training company in Oklahoma. And they're on the verge of being the highest rated dog training company in America. And so I think their website should say that. And so I looked at their site during the meeting and I noticed that it doesn't say the highest reviewed dog training company in America, but that epiphany occurred to me during a meeting. So because I believe that ideas are gifts from God, I decided to go ahead and write it down. And you know what I did? I wrote it down, and I didn't act upon it right then. Did you know why? Because it wasn't the appropriate time to act on it, because I'm going to save that for my meta time, you see. So what I did is I wrote that down, and then during my meta time, I think about it, and bam. Another example, for elephant in the room, I've realized that the checkout time is too long because the managers have told me. And so I went to the South Tulsa store today at 91st and Yale and made sure that I talked to the manager and found out what the delay is with the checkout time. And I have come up with I think I know what the problem is. And then so tomorrow morning in my meta time, I'm going to try to solve the problem, right? So the step 2, though, you got to block out time to actually get it done. So once you have your epiphanies, step 2, you got to block out alpha time. That's that warrior mindset to get stuff done. You got to block out a specific time to get the thing done. So tomorrow, I'm going to be, today, I'm going to be meeting with one of our designers because he's in the process of optimizing a website for a title company. And I need to make sure that it gets done. Also, we have a mega conference coming up in April, and I want to make sure that we've adequately prepared for that. And so I'm going to follow up with the team today about some specific items. We recently switched over to Imperial Coffee. We switched from the Keurig cups to Imperial Coffee because they're a great company in Tulsa. I've known many people who've used Imperial Coffee for a long, long time who are good people. And we really, our core competency is not making coffee, and I want to move beyond I want to just focus on our main thing. I want to keep the main thing. So I wrote down the other day, we're out of coffee. So in my meta time, I thought to myself, what's a way that I could solve the problem of being out of coffee once and for all, forever? Yeah, you want to solve the problem so that you can, in your meta time, the idea is you want to be able to solve a problem one time so that you never have that problem again. And I just think a lot of folks, it's like, we don't ever do it that way. We just react to the burning fire of the moment and we spray it off. We hose it down. We get out the fire extinguisher and we hose it off, but then we get back to another problem. But the problem is, like if you have an employee on your team, as an example, who is not doing their checklists and always arriving late. I'm dealing with that. I wrote that down on my to-do list today. We have an employee and she just cannot, for whatever, I don't know what's going on. I mean, maybe it's a metaphysical thing. I mean, maybe it's a deeper issue than her just choosing not to be at work on time. Probably not, It's probably not that at all, but it's a radio show, so you don't want to speak too, disparagingly about somebody, but I mean, maybe it is a metaphysical occurrence, which is, it's hard to describe because it's relating to a transcendent reality that's beyond my perception. And maybe that is why, she can't be at work on time. But I don't know what the deal is, but I'm not too curious to find out either. All I know is that she's not on time. So I wrote down today, she's not on time for the third time in a row. So I wrote down, it's time to bring in the hammer. It's time to replace. And so I'm going to make sure we have a new person, and we have a group interview we do every Wednesday night, and we're going to find somebody to replace that person because I'm just not curious as to why. I don't know if you can't show up to work on time. I really don't want to figure out why that is. Because if I start doing that and figuring out why you're getting to work late, then I got to become like a life coach. And now we're talking about how you feel all the time. And I don't recall starting a life coaching business. And so I started a haircut business or a photography company or a real estate company. And I just want to move beyond that crap. And so that's just, what you do. Step 3, though, you got to determine who your ideal and likely buyers are. And I don't think a lot of people have taken the time to think about that. But Chet Holmes did. Chet Holmes, who's Chet Holmes? Chet Holmes is the best-selling author. He's a best-selling author of a book that everyone should be writing down right now. The best-selling author of The Ultimate Sales Machine. It's a red-covered book, and he's the former business partner of Charlie Munger. The former business partner of Charlie Munger. So Charlie Munger is the Warren Buffett's business partner you've never heard of. As of today's recording, let me type this in real quick here. Charlie Munger, as of today, his net worth is, can you guess what his net worth is? Charlie Munger, the guy you've never heard of. He owns the Charlie Munger net worth. Here we go. And it looks like, it looks like that Warren Buffett has made his buddy Charlie Munger a $3 billionaire. So, however, Charlie Munger, as of June 13th, 2013, has donated a lot of his money, but he's worth $3 billion. He's worth $3 billion. So, Charlie Munger, he's doing well. He's having success. Charlie Munger. Good job, Charlie Munger. Well, what happens is Chet Holmes went to work with Charlie Munger, and he began to be curious about how it is that Warren Buffett has massive success with his companies. I don't know if you know this, but Warren Buffett is in control of Coca-Cola, Bank of America, Geico, See's Candy, the Omaha Furniture Company. Well, one way is that Warren Buffett knows who his ideal and likely buyers are for each business. And so he knows that so well, they only market like a laser beam to that person. You can't afford to shotgun market to everybody, right? Unless you have like a business like an optometry clinic where most people need that service, you really need to be more precise than that. You need to be like a laser beam or rifle marketing. And so in the book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, Chet Holmes writes, best buyers buy more, buy faster, and buy more often than other buyers. These are your ideal clients. Have a special effort dedicated to just these dream clients. I repeat, best buyers buy more, they buy faster, and buy more often than other buyers. These are your ideal clients. Have a special effort dedicated to just the dream clients. So if you're listening to the show right now today, we have a special effort dedicated to you because we know who our ideal and likely buyers are. They're business owners. So if you are a business owner, as our way of saying thank you to you and to all the listeners we've ever had that are business owners, we're going to be doing free professional headshots, photography headshots, or family photos. It's a $1,000 value from the Thrivetime show to you. There's no catch. All you got to do is email us your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Be one of the first 100 people to email us your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com. We will reach out to you and schedule your free photo headshots or your free family shots for all of the business owners in Tulsa, the first 100 who take advantage of the offer. But you got to act quick. I think we already have a dozen taken, so just email today, info@thrivetimeshow.com. Stay tuned.
Want to attend the legendary Thrivetime Show Business Workshop for free? Subscribe on iTunes, leave an objective review, and send us confirmation at info@thrivetimeshow.com to claim your tickets. Want to live in a van down by the river? Come by and see us at our Riverwalk offices, and we'll be able to make your dreams come true.
Oh, Thrive Nation. Let me tell you what. This workshop we had this past weekend was incredible. We had double the capacity, so we had to really retrofit the studios, the offices, the floor plate for our entire business to accommodate everybody. We had to staff up. It was exciting to see great people like you out there really investing in your business and taking your business to the next level. And that's really the engine of the American economy. If you think about the statistics out there, Forbes is showing right now, the U.S. Chamber is showing right now that 65% of the businesses that are being started by small business owners. So you talk about, did the government build your business? I think the government, provided the infrastructure for us. I mean, no doubt to that. But I mean, entrepreneurship is powerful, and it has the power to change people's lives for the better or for the worse. I mean, according to Forbes, 8 out of 10 businesses fail. And when a business fails, nobody wins. It's just not a good thing. And so we're teaching today the 7 steps that you can take if you have an existing company to increase your sales by 700%. Now, if you missed the first 3 steps, go to thrivetimeshow.com, click on the podcasts button, and make sure that you download the podcast entitled 7 Steps to Increase Sales by 700% this year. So here is the 4th step. You got to brand yourself as world class. You have to fake it until you make it, right? You have to fake it. Yeah, you have to fake it until you make it. And let me give you a notable quotable here about branding. Can we do that? I mean, did you guys see the landing of Elon Musk the other day? Elon Musk, he was they had the landing. They have these rockets that SpaceX, one of his companies, has made, and the rockets now can land themselves. Have you guys seen that? If you haven't got a chance to see that, that is quite a thing to watch. I mean, and that's so Elon Musk is creating reusable rockets. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's taking the place of NASA. Where did he come from? I mean, well, before he did that, he actually basically changed the way we pay people online. He's the guy who started PayPal. And then he did Tesla. And he's doing Solar City, which is changing the way that we do solar-powered energy today. So, it's just, but Elon Musk has a notable quotable for you. And he says this. So we're talking about brand. Okay, we're talking about branding yourself as first class. You want to fake it until you make it. So this is what he says, Elon Musk. He says, brand is just a perception. And perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. Again, Elon Musk writes, brand is just a perception. And perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression that some have about a product. So my question I'd have for you is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is your branding? If 10 is excellent and 1 is terrible, how good is your website on a scale of 1 to 10? If 10 is you're coming up top in Google for all the search terms, and you're doing what Steve Currington's doing, one of our clients, you're top in Google. You're doing what the phone doctors are doing, you're top in Google. You're being what Barbie Cookies is doing, you're top in Google. If you're top in Google, that's a 10. If you're not, that's a 1. How professional do your print pieces look on a scale of 1 to 10? If 10 is high quality, high class, professional sports teams level, like teams we've worked with in the past, or a 1 is terrible. How are your sales? If a 10 is like Joel David Jewelry, where they're growing at Joel David Jewelry, or if a 1 is like you're shrinking. If you think about that, how's your branding? How do you look? When people go to your website and they see your marketing materials, how do you look? How do you sound? Do you sound good? Does your website sound good? Do your print pieces look good? Does your on-hold music sound good? If you need help with your branding, at least take advantage of this offer, okay? All you got to do is just email info@thrivetimeshow.com. That's you can email your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com, and we will beat any other marketing company's prices by 50% during your first month with no contract. And they want to keep you every month thereafter. But I'm just telling you, we can change the game for your business, but you've got to be self-aware. You ever been to like a birthday party or some kind of gathering? Maybe like a wedding reception, and they're serving nice food, and the guy you're sitting next to has something on his face. He has like shrimp cocktail sauce on his face, and he's just wearing that cocktail sauce on his face. Have you met this guy? Have you not been to a party where somebody is wearing shrimp cocktail stuff on their face? Have you not seen that? And everyone knows it but them. It just seems like a weird, I don't know. Have you ever seen like the Jerry Jones face? Jerry Jones, if you look at Jerry Jones, he's the head coach, or he's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. And if you ever get a chance to look at Jerry Jones, and you maybe ask yourself, has this guy had cosmetic surgery? I don't know if you think he has cosmetic surgery or not, but his eyes seem to be getting more oriental looking over time. I mean, have you noticed a change there? I don't know if you've seen that at all, but all I'm saying is I think everybody believes that his face is looking differently than it used to. I mean, I think you remember Michael Jackson's face, where bless his heart, I guess he said he had a skin problem where his skin started losing pigment over time. Would you ever notice, like, everybody else kept wondering, why is your nose getting more narrow? Like, why are you losing your lips? Like, why is your hair looking more and more like a big perm as opposed to an afro that he used to wear? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, have you ever thought about how there's just certain folks that they're not aware of what's happening? I mean, I wear a hat every day now, okay? I used to wear a suit for 18 years. Now I wear a hat on it that says boom. And I wear a hoodie sweatshirt every day. And I'm aware of how I look. I'm aware of that. I'm aware that people think, what's going on? I thought this guy was like, used to dress up. I thought this guy used to wear a suit every day. Well, it's true. I used to do it. But my entire goal with my businesses was to be able to live life on my terms. And a couple, 3 years ago, there were certain key performance indicators, certain high water marks, certain goals I had. And I decided once I hit those goals, I would quit dressing up. So Elon Musk says, brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression that some have about your product. Notable quotable from Michael Levine, the former PR consultant for Nike and for Pizza Hut and for Bill Clinton and for Nancy Kerrigan and for the Bushes and for Charlton Heston and for actually Michael Jackson and for Prince. He says, if you give someone a present and you give it to them in a Tiffany box, it's likely that they'll believe that the gift has a higher perceived value than if you gave it to them in no box or a box of less prestige. That's not because the receiver of the gift is a fool, but instead because we live in a culture in which we gift wrap everything. Our politicians, our corporate heads, our movie and TV stars, and even our toilet paper. Public relations is like gift wrapping. My friends, we got to come to grips with that. How good is our branding on a scale of 1 to 10? And if you need help with your branding, just email us your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com, and we'll help you fix that stuff for 50% less than you would pay any other marketing firm in Tulsa. We will beat their prices. And then after that, there's no contract. So if you're not happy with the results you're getting from your PR firm or marketing firm, we would love to help you. And if you are happy, then God bless your current marketing firm, because most marketing companies are terrible. Stay tuned.